I'm going to show you what I mean when most people are paying their bills wrong.
Pay attention, everybody, to know why is that important that what's the big deal about having using this process compared to how most people do?
Because if you could pay your bill with the coupon instead of utilizing a debit card or fiat cash, why wouldn't you? And signature and depending, and it's not the same for everybody. That's the reason why American Express has their process. If you go through Chase or Bank of America or Wells Fargo, any other financial institution, Credit One, their stuff may be different. That's why you have to read those terms and conditions that I just pulled up for you.
And how many people read that? They get the card, they throw that in the trash.
Nobody reads it, and that's why they have to
Exactly.
pay the way they pay.
Right. Which is very interesting because if you're let me see if I understand, right? So if you use that coupon and you don't send any money, but you use the coupon, that pay.
You have to be mindful of your language. I don't mean to interrupt
Oh, okay.
So money is gold and silver per United States constitutional law. So what they're looking for is bookkeeping. So if you send over fiat, those are technically by law considered IOUs. If you send over credit, those are zeros and ones. If you send over a coupon, that is going to be processed the same way as a fiat dollar in bookkeeping because of their relationship, these financial institutions' relationships with United States Treasury. That goes into their bookkeeping. So you just have to understand how the coupon system itself works for you to understand that that is a negotiable instrument that has the ability to be tendered over as payment versus you paying twice. Well, just paying once a different way because most people aren't paying twice. They're just paying a different way.
Right.
Because then most people aren't even sending in the coupon.
No.
And in the payment, it says send the coupon over, right?
In the wording, yes, but who reads that? No, I mean,
it said on the bill. It said on the bill, on the bottom of the bill, on everybody's bill. It said. Good day, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Trust Fund Baby Podcast. And I have a special guest here, Miss Allison Bennett, one of my favorite people to work with and also to converse with. And she deals in the financial literacy realm as well. So please, without further ado, please tell the people a little bit about what it is that you do and introduce yourself.
Well, hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to your podcast, DJ Bey. I enjoy working with you as well. And just a little bit about my background. I've been in finance in some shape, form, or fashion, helping people build wealth since '96. And so now in the realm of business credit and funding, which is a very powerful field to be in, I help people build wealth and figure out a strategy for them, specifically for them to figure out how to create more cash flow. So if you're having issues, figuring out how to make ends meet or financial literacy, just figuring out how to get out of debt, things like that. So that's what I've been known for years, and that's what I continue to do nationwide. And I also have gained knowledge, of course, with the help of DJ Bey, how to help people further build wealth with trust. And I also have a background in helping people build wealth with insurance policies and beyond, just business structure, proper business structure, and how to legally set your business up and set yourself up for success in creating a roadmap to financial freedom.
Well, I know you've been working on a few projects, so I know you just released a book. So please tell me a little bit about the book that you have out right now.
Sure. It's an interactive ebook, which is exciting. It's called Roadmap to Financial Freedom, Financial Health. Financial health is financial wealth. As you well know, if your finances aren't in order, it could actually literally affect your health and your mental health and your physical health. But coming up with strategies, and my teams and I are able to come up with strategies so that you can figure out how to change from any issues you're having in your financial realm to a more positive position. And me being a baby boomer, at the end of baby boomers, my focus is really on baby boomers, Generation X, Z, XY, because we have to figure that out. Retirement is right around the corner for most of us. We're working, some of us working 2 and 3 jobs, even after retirement. It's just so many different scenarios. And I really love to help people figure out how to get more cash flow and figure out a really strong retirement plan, as far as not retirement plans, as far as, a retirement planner, but how are you going to increase your cash flow? That's what we focus on.
So really, and the crazy thing is, previously, like back when I was younger, a retirement was a retirement. Now you really need to have an estate plan that can pay for your lifestyle. And then even thinking about somebody like me, I have never worked for a company, and I don't ever plan on being able to work for another company to where there can be a retirement unless it's one that I've created. So even for like people who are in those situations, because there's other people who I know, people who are 40 plus who may have just started another job, and now like retirement may not necessarily be an option for them. So what type of solutions have you thought about for people like that?
Well, the thing about it, whether or not they're in their 40s or 50s or 30s or beyond 60, it's the same. You have to look at what you have that you can utilize. Like if you have a job, don't quit. Use that as a foundation, but you have to figure out how to make passive, they call passive income. Passive income is money that you're making, whether you're asleep or not asleep. You can be making it while you're at your current job. You have other income that's coming in. So you have to figure out how to do that. And there's many ways to do it. Now, some of the options have changed in the last, I would say, 6 months, because this is a very challenging economic environment that we are in. But we still have many options that we can utilize to do
Even
such
for
things.
even for the influencers, like when COVID came, courses and ebooks were very popular, and it's not so as much now. So we're even watching, you have to Bruce Lee said it best, you have to be like water. You have to be able to be fluid and be able to fit into different spaces, different cups, that way that you can be able to mold to these situations, or otherwise you can see your business just collapsing overnight just because you wasn't able to transition. And one of the biggest transitions that we're seeing right now is technology is advancing dramatically. So cash flow systems that people are creating, they should implement newer technology, that way that they can make sure that they have sustaining business models.
I agree. I totally agree. I mean, gone are the days when you could just, have a pension and retire, or they told us to go to school, get a good job, go to college. Not, I'm not against college. Don't say that. But, then you get a great job. You
I'm
get a
against
great.
debt for no reason.
Well, yes, you have to be strategic with it, though, right?
You know how
So,
many people I know with degrees that are not utilizing them, and they are in debt. And even to the point where a lot of employment has not even made it necessary for you to have a college degree in order for you to become employed, just because they need people to work.
that's true. I see it, and we really were lied to. Our generation, baby boomers, and my generation, which is X and Y, we really were sold not good information. Okay, so or incomplete, very incomplete information. So a lot
What,
of the people
as
that
far
I
as
know,
what?
because I know a lot of people just like you do who are successful lawyers, successful professionals. They have these doctors. So many doctors have so high student loans, but they only make a certain amount as the doctor that the salary that they make as a doctor, and they still have these student loans 20 years later.
The
Um,
craziest thing is if people would actually take time to read the Fair Credit Reporting Act, there's actually a section in there that talks about discharging of debt. And then there's even laws that I don't I don't talk about this often, but the law is the law. There are laws that are in place to this day that says the United States is responsible for everybody's finances if they are one of their caretakers. So, meaning like if you're a citizen of the United States, they are willing to alleviate your debt. You just have to know how to articulate it in order to make it happen. And on top of almost everybody I know pays their bills wrong. Because if you read it, and I have a screenshot on my phone. I can send it to myself on. I'll send it to. Let me send it to myself on WhatsApp. So where my phone at? Because I can show you better than I can tell you, and we'll just share it with the people. Because
buddy.
this is a payment agreement from American Express, I believe. All right, so I should have that right here. Okay, let me share screen. What's up? Okay, so this is a payment agreement from American Express. Yeah, American Express right here, AmericanExpress.com, just so you can
Mm-hmm.
see it.
Mm-hmm.
And right here, this is the section that says how you make your payments. Make payments to us in US dollars with a single check drawn on a US bank or a single negotiable instrument clearable through the US banking system. For example, a money order or an electronic payment that can be cleared through the US banking system. Okay. So when you make a payment by mail, make a separate payment for each account. So you don't make multiple. So if you have different credit cards, you are supposed to send in a different instrument for every account number. And the reason as to why it says make your payment to the address shown on the payment coupon on your billing statement. Are you, Allison, do you know what a payment coupon is?
I do.
Okay, so a payment coupon, for anybody who does not know, that is when you have a bill. I wish I had some of my Michigan mail because I have a water bill and it's like negative, what is it? Negative $150. So it's just because of the way the bill was tendered and it was taken care of. So right here, mail your payment to the address shown on the payment coupon on your billing statement and write your account number on your check or negotiable instrument and include the payment coupon. So
Mm,
when you don't pay this way, because this is the way they're telling you they accept payment, most people are just utilizing an electronic payment as one
right.
of the other ways they said, right?
Right.
So even though the payment coupon itself is a form of payment, coupons go through the United States Treasury. So if you send in the coupon with the account number on it as a negotiable instrument with the proper endorsement, and let's just I'm about to pull the way you do a proper endorsement. So like this video right here, like if you understand what I'm like, this is crazy because let's go to proper endorsement. And the proper endorsement, negotiable instruments.
This is information, people. You're not going to get anywhere. I don't. I mean, it's just that's what I am just so excited to be partnered with him and so much that we do together to help our community and people to understand this information. This is who tells you this? No one
I
except
don't know.
here. We do. We tell you.
So I'm pulling the CFR law because I believe it's, what is it, CFR 31 CFR. Let me just type that in. 31 CFR and endorsement of coupons. Okay, requirements for endorsement. Here we go. Let's share screen. And here is the law. Requirements for endorsements. This is for bearer securities. Endorsement must be imprinted on the left-hand portion of the face of each security. A security is also a negotiable instrument. A coupon is also a negotiable instrument. So understand the language. Within the first line thereof, parallel to the left edge of the security in a such manner as to be clearly legible. This is why some people stamp instead of writing, because their handwriting is disgusting. And in such position, like mine, I have bad handwriting, that it will not be obscured, that it will not obscure the serial numbers, series designation, or other identifying data. So make sure that you're not covering anything else when you are endorsing your instruments. And cover the smallest possible portion of the text on the face of the security. The dimensions of the endorsement should be approximately 4 inches within a. They are very specific. This is the law. This is how you're
Wow.
supposed to properly endorse your coupon when you send it in to the financial institution, who then will send it over to United States Treasury, and then they will account this as a payment, and this will also go as a tax credit. So these are things. I actually have an individual who does. He's in one of our other companies. He pays his bill, and he also sends in a coupon. So when it's time for his taxes, he gets all that money back.
Wow.
But yeah, like right here, just so everybody can see it on camera, you all can do your own due diligence. But please review this and look it over and look into what I'm telling you. Right there.
Mm.
So yeah.
That is exciting information. Thank you for sharing that.
No, for sure. Because it's when we talk about financial literacy and just being a steward of your own finances, it's imperative to understand, the economic system around you. And these laws and things are put in place, and people aren't just knowledgeable of them because I did it the best way I could do it. I didn't just say it. I showed you an American Express system where they accept negotiable instruments. And then they said, put your account number on the coupon, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the negotiable instrument that you're sending in. All you have to do is endorse it properly. So you just have to know the proper endorsement, and then they're going to accept it. And then I didn't even show. Let me read the other section because they also say something else. Let me share screen one more time.
This is amazing.
Okay, so right here, write your account number on your check or negotiable instrument and include the payment coupon. If your payment meets the above requirements, we will credit it to your account as of the day we receive it, as well as long as we receive it by the time disclosed in your billing statement. So they're going to credit it to your account the same day. And then there is also a way in order to expedite your bills being sent over to these people, and it's utilizing a lockbox system. So really quick, I know this is your interview, but I just want the people to know real
Please,
quick.
no,
Uh,
this is
let's-
exclusive information. It's not exclusive, but it is because people don't know this. I know they don't. So please share.
okay, lockbox processing solutions. Okay, so I'll just show you all a simple Google search. Let's right here, share screen. Okay, I promise this the last one.
You can't make that promise.
Okay, right here. Lockbox billing is a service provided by banks to help businesses streamline their accounts receivable process. It involves directing customers to send their payments to a designated lockbox address where the banks collect the processing of the payments on behalf of the businesses. Lockbox payments use electronic data transmission and specific data formatting on a daily basis to process customers' money transactions. The benefit of lockbox bankings are easier reconciliations, reduced workload, and better data security. Main reason why you would do this is because they get the payment the same day it touched the lockbox.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
And why, let me ask you a question. Now I'm interviewing you. Why is that important to know? Why is that important that what's the big deal about having, using this process compared to how most people do?
Because if you could pay your bill with the coupon instead of utilizing a debit card or fiat cash, why wouldn't you?
I don't think people understood that that's really what you were saying. You have to, because they're thinking that you have to add the money with the coupon.
No, I explained the difference. There is, I said, I have a peer, a business partner of mine. He pays both ways. He sends in the coupon and he sends in the payment. There are multiple people who have been doing it for years before I was born. This isn't a new process. And they tender over the payment along with their endorsement and signature, and depending, and it's not the same for everybody. That's the reason why American Express has their process. If you go through Chase or Bank of America or Wells Fargo, any other financial institution, Credit One, their stuff may be different. That's why you have to read those terms and conditions that I just pulled up for you.
And how many people read that? They get the card, they throw that in the trash.
Nobody reads it, and that's why they have to
Exactly.
pay the way they pay.
Right. Which is very interesting because if you're, let me see if I understand, right? So if you use that coupon and you don't send any money, but you use the coupon,
Who
that
said that's
pay.
not? You have to be mindful of your language. I don't mean to interrupt you.
Okay.
So money is gold and silver per United States constitutional law. So what they're looking for is bookkeeping. So if you send over fiat, those are technically by law considered IOUs. If you send over credit, those are zeros and ones. If you send over a coupon, that is going to be processed the same way as a fiat dollar in bookkeeping because of their relationship, these financial institutions' relationships with the United States Treasury. That goes into their bookkeeping. So you just have to understand how the coupon system itself works for you to understand that that is a negotiable instrument that has the ability to be tendered over as payment versus you paying twice. Well, just paying
Wow.
once a different way because most people aren't paying twice. They're just paying a different way
Right.
because then most people aren't even sending in the coupon.
No.
And in the payment, it says send the coupon over, right?
In the wording, yes, but who reads that? No, not many
It said
people.
on the bill. It said on the bill, on the bottom of the bill, on everybody's bill, it said.
People don't like bills. They just they don't want to read them.
And
They
that's
don't want
the
to read
reason
those
why
bills.
going electronic has limited people's ability in order for them to have remedy sometimes. Paper
Right.
is, and you can also understand why there's so much of a push to go digital because if you go digital, some of these processes or methods will be lost.
Oh, see that? Very interesting information. Thank you for sharing. I'm sure that 99% of people that have heard this today had no idea. Probably higher than that, 99.999%, including myself. I didn't know everything that you were saying there. My goodness. Whew.
And you can go on YouTube and watch animation videos about how coupons work with the United States Treasury and what they do with them, and it'll be helpful. But like even like what you're doing up in the in Maryland and stuff with the events, I would love for people to be able to come and like learn about this information when they come to your events though. So can you tell them a little bit about those?
Yes, they are also entitled Roadmap to Financial Freedom. Financial health is financial wealth. A series I'm putting on a monthly series at the Prince George's Community College Culinary Arts Center, which is absolutely gorgeous inside. They have an event space, and that's where we're going to have them. we're looking for sponsorship so that we can continue to bring that to the community once a month. It's an ongoing series that we want to launch so that we can do that.
And then are you looking for speakers or anybody? And
Mhm.
yeah,
subject
so
subject matter experts, but it really costs money to put these on. So the local banks, I've reached out to them, but I do need sponsorship. We need sponsorship, but we're working on that. But we want to continue the series so that each month we have a different series building on itself, so that we start with the very basics of financial literacy and keep building. We encourage your parents to bring their teenagers, not their children maybe, but their teenagers and young adults, so that they can learn as well.
no, I'm about to say my baby started learning young. My
Well,
children learn how
yes.
to count money early.
Well, you could do that. You know what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, the earlier the better that they get this information. How to open a bank account. Just so many. What is credit? Why is credit? Where did credit come from? Credit history, the history of credit. Why? How it affects you? How it affects your life in everyday life. It is so important to know this because it affects every area of your life every day.
Yeah, and
That's just where it is.
you got to make it cool for children because this is boring information. I'm not gonna. It's not super entertaining. It's not like
Right.
watching cartoons. So
Right.
you have to figure out a way in order to make it interesting for a teenager. Like, why is it good that you have credit? You want to know why? Because now you can buy all those V Bucks and you can play for whatever video games that you want, but you turn into a business so it pays back for itself. And now you can start getting sponsorships and start streaming. So it's always about being able to create a cash flow system within somebody's ecosystem as well. Because if you do have credit, you need to be able to pay it back because that is borrowing. That's not your own cash flow. That's borrowing with interest in most cases.
Yes, and people need to understand we all have gotten lulled into thinking, if I have this much on a credit card, this is money that I can spend. It's not like that at all. It is not. It's a false sense of security to think that you can use this much of your credit on. You have credit cards, so you're okay, and you can live off of them and things like that. That is the worst thing you could ever do. Okay,
Yeah,
so
because I've always had the mindset that anything that allows interest to acquire, unless I was in a situation to where I would pay it before the interest hit, and you have to do that within like the first like 2 weeks or before any interest starts acquiring. So that means I will already still need the cash flow. So that pretty much means I would just be running through somebody else will be lending me funds in order for me to have a good public facing number so that I can borrow from other people. Because if I have the ability to pay it like that and avoid the interest, I also have the ability to go dollar for dollar and not even use credit.
right. And that's the whole goal, to get to that place. And how do you get there? You have to have cash flow enough to do that, to pay your housing, to eat, to take care of your family, and then have extra, right? So that you can utilize that for building your investments. You should start looking at how you're going to put the extra money to work so that you can have a retirement that is secure, and also build up your cash flow investments. That's really what a job is for. You want to go to college, you want to get the best grades in grade school so you can get to the best college that you can afford. And then if that's the way you go, or certificates or licenses to make at least six figures, so that you can cover all of your housing and whatever, and then you
How
have
many
money.
people make six figures who have degrees?
Not many, but I'm saying that's what you should be looking at. If you look at education in that way, whichever way you can figure out how to do that. If you get it through education, great. If you get it through having certifications, that's great too. But I'm saying that, to have the goal of saying, why am I in school anyway? Why am I getting an education? You're getting an education so that you have enough money to cover all your monthly and your family, but you also have that money, the rest, to put towards your cash flow and your
Would that
investments.
be education or would that be experience?
Experience. Well, it depends on how old you are, right? Because you can come out straight out of high school with the right certifications and make $150,000 to $200,000 in IT.
I mean, that still work. I'm about to say, in some cases, unless you have your own IT company, if you have your own IT company, you'll make more than that. That's working for somebody still. And
Right. But you have to get the certificate, right? To you have to start. All I'm
no,
saying is you have
this is so.
start somewhere. Where are you going to start?
Yeah, all I'm saying is when it comes to that, like the manner in which you allocate out your time will also dictate how much money
Yes,
you can make.
that's
So
right.
if you are going to go, and I'm thoroughly educated. I went to private school, but I also
So did
understand
I.
how much I was able to help myself when I was able to understand the things that the world really requires outside of what education will shape you into. And that's mainly because I went to a private school. So they gave us a completely separate education of what you'll get in public school. So my mindset was different.
Right.
So
And that
I
and
would,
that's so important. But it starts at the home. I mean, your parents made those decisions to put you in that environment as opposed to the regular environment that most people are in. So,
but
you know,
in
you
private school, they don't teach us to go get a job. They teach us how to be a creator.
that's what I'm saying. I'm glad that your parents put you in that environment so that you could think differently, but how many parents even know there's alternatives to that? To sending them to the school down the street. You know what I mean? The public school or whatever. They don't know that there are alternatives. Is what I'm saying.
I'm not highlighting that. I'm not highlighting my personal education. Only thing I'm saying is that in that particular system, they don't
Hmm.
create employees. They create the individuals who create industry, and they create creators in private school systems. And that is
Right.
one of the main reasons why I am the way I am. So you have to look at it either, if you keep following this education narrative, you're going to go down the 9 to 5 route, which
Right.
most people are not happy. But if you adjust your education system and you start aligning yourself with what private education teaches people, such as financial literacy, being spiritually aligned, meditating, having different forms of
Right.
discipline, and also just understanding emotional, like having, what is it, emotional consciousness, being able to understand
Yes.
empathy, being able to empathize. These are all things that you get taught in these type of schools. And
That's
you
right.
get aligned with this stuff is going to help you to have a better understanding of what the world needs, and you see the problems and you can create a solution versus you just working for somebody. And when you work in this field, you usually you work a lot more, but you have freedom to do what you want, and you are also able to create something that you can pass down to your family. Most people can't pass down their 9 to 5 to their family.
And if you look at my signature line, what does it say? You can't pass a job on to your family. Start a business.
Mhm.
You have to. I mean, that's there three main pillars of wealth building, and one of the main pillars you have to have a business. Okay, of some sort. You have to build proper wealth in this world we live in.
Hell, how are people attempting to get, people want to get funded, but they don't have a business, so that means they're going to have to do it in their personal name, which means it's going to limit the amount of funding they're going to get. Even if you're
Very
trying
much
to
so.
increase your borrowing limits, you should have a business. If you are
Yep.
looking to leave something for your family, you should have a business. If
Yep.
you are a breathing adult, you should have a business.
Tax burden. Talk about the tax burden.
Tax, yeah, that's just
But it
like
does. It
I seen
changes things.
yeah, I seen a good Instagram video that explained it very well. Like if you're making under $50,000 with your business structure, you should possibly still be in the LLC realm. If you're making more than that, you should advance to a corporation, and corporations are always allotted more funding than an LLC,
Yep.
just because how a financial institution looks at an LLC. They're like baby companies. So, but we're big on trust structure, but trust are not traditionally funded
Eh.
the same way how a business is.
Talk
So
about it. Talk about it.
trust are usually funded based off of your collateral assets that your assets that you have. So if I wanted to get funded based off of one of my trusts, they will look at my portfolio, and they'll and also my banking relationship, and they'll see how financially worthy I am versus them having to run a credit score. So it's just pretty much based on me acquiring things over time and contracts, businesses, and things like that, having different cash flow systems. A financial institution would just be like, here, you can take this because we know you manage money well.
And can you put all of those in a trust?
Yeah, everything. Well, for me, everything's in a trust. I don't own anything. I was just
Right.
because I'm just a man, just out here minding my business. That like literally, that's all I'm doing. I'm just minding my business. So
But
the trust.
you're properly structured. You're properly structured. I know that about you, right? So I'm sharing. But my
Yeah,
point is the power of the world of trust is amazing. And how that helps you with your tax burden just by having your assets properly funded into a trust
yeah,
and
because
how
you're
that
not the one
works.
that personally owe the taxes no more. The trust do, and the taxes is different at that point. Once you allocate everything, you much rather one of the worst things to do is to have a bill come from the IRS in your name.
Oof. Mm-hmm.
Why do them
Mm-hmm.
people even got your address?
Yeah.
They should not have your address. Do you have their address? Like the people who are mailing you? No, you don't. You don't have
No.
nobody address. And that's one another thing is when we talk about understanding aspects of privacy, because address means you're giving somebody the means to address you. So I
How
tell you
about
how you
that?
can address me. Yeah. And I that's why I use a PO box because you don't have the right to know where I live. I get to
Mm.
maintain that right of privacy because if you're a judge, you're technically listed as a protected person, and I can't figure out where you stay.
Hmm.
If you're an IRS agent, you're technically a protected person. I can't figure out where you stay. So why do you
Hmm.
get to know where I stay? So you don't mail me directly. So especially because you're not going to mail me directly anyway. You don't mail, and the trust isn't at my personal domicile either. It's at a business address because
Right.
it's conducting business. But just understanding this is all when we talk about family office and estate planning and wealth management. This is how you manage your family affairs. You have to look at it as a business because the courts and the other business structures around you, they're showing you how to operate. It's just, are you paying attention?
And a lot of people say, well, how can I do that and have a PO box? I have to put that on my driver's license and I have to put my address on there and da 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 da.
You can have all of that. When people ask you for your address, for your part, it depends on how you're communicating. Because let's say if my trust owns my vehicle, when they run my plates, the trust name will come up, even
Right.
though that you still may be somebody who have a regular United States driver's license. I have an international driver's license, international driver permit, and I have tribal ID. So my situation is slightly different.
Yeah.
But at one point in time when I was younger, I did just because of my ignorance have identification. And when I realized the manner in which it had me contracting, I realized that it wasn't necessary. So, like I said, it's just being mindful of how you're contracting, and because this is all managing, it's all business at the end of the day.
Hmm.
Because the United States is a business, and they treat you as a business. Because in law, a business can only deal with another business. Businesses can't deal with humans, living souls directly. Businesses can't deal with animals directly. They have to create another entity that matches its status in order for it to communicate with, and that's the law that falls underneath Uniform Commercial Code laws. And you see it all of the time because we were taught this in school. Whenever you see something in all capital letters, it's reflected as a book title, a corporation, or a business, right?
Hmm.
A fictitious entity.
Right.
So whenever you see your name in the same instance, they're doing the same to you. They're treating you as a business. That's why I say every living soul should have a business because they're already treating you as one. You're just not handling
Mhm.
your affairs the proper way.
And I truly, truly believe that if you don't have a trust, you're not fully protecting yourself, your family, your assets, anything.
The crazy thing is everybody here is born in the trust law. They just don't know it because it's not taught to them. Because the United States operate as their trustee, as their caretaker, and that's why they provide privileges to them. And until you operate in law, it's I can show you the legal definition, but I said I'm not gonna pull up no more stuff. In law, a minor is in relationship to a minority. So when
Mm.
they say you're a minority, they mean a minor, which is an adolescent in law. So in order to operate in the age of majority as an adult, you have to show yourself as such. So when you are operating as in most cases, as a beneficiary, somebody who receives privileges from the United States, they're the trustee. Trusts
Mm.
operate in usually three parties. There is the grantor creator, there's the trustee, and the
Right.
beneficiary. If you're the beneficiary with the United States and they're the trustee, who is the grantor and the creator? So in some cases, you all were responsible or you took part in the creation, but still the United States itself was the creator of said trust. So they
Mm.
hold two of the three positions that they're legally allowed to hold. And by you opting into this relationship through contracts, by asking for benefits, whether it be WIC, food stamps, for a driver's license, for a birth certificate, so you can go to school. This is how you contract with them. And per you doing this, they treat you as a business because they have to in order to provide you benefits. And they give you an
Mm.
account number for it as well. Because a business can only deal with business. People just have to understand the system. And most people, when they articulate it, they make it seem like some spooky government conspiracy thing. You just
Yeah.
have to be realistic about it. This is business. All of this is business. And a lot of us don't understand the business that we are enrolled into on a day-to-day basis. And this is why we keep failing at Monopoly, because they never learned the rules.
Yeah. You can't win a game you don't know the rules to. That's for sure. And that leads us back to how do you start figuring out how to create a different path for finances or cash flow or making more income for yourself. But everything, unfortunately, or whatever, it starts with your credit file, what that looks like, and also how much you have in assets a lot of times.
Because it takes money to make money, and that's the unfortunate part. Unless you, even
Hmm.
like for you to be an influencer, for you to have an iPhone, you have to pay for that bill, or you have to be on somebody Wi-Fi, and you got to pay for the phone. And so everything in this world is like alchemy. You have to give something in order to receive something. You have to put
Hmm.
energy into something in order for you. So just make sure that you're placing your energy in places where it's going to be beneficial, that it's going to be reciprocal.
And you've helped me a lot with that. I just have to say, focusing. No, because a lot of times when you're trying to figure out which way to go, and I'm subject to the same thing because I have so many options. I have so many resources and
Yeah,
options.
you
I
need
need
to.
to come in. And so you've helped me do that so much. So what I've learned though, and that I want to teach people, they can maybe take something from this, is that you focus. You have to be laser focused on what it is that is going to actually take your time and make the most of your time, energy, and resources. And you can, but if you need help with that, that's why I'm here. That's why my book is written. That's why I have the platform I have, and why he has the platform, and why we work together to reach people, to say it's not too late. I know you may be 60 something or what. It's not too late for you to pivot. The word is pivot,
Hmm.
okay, and figure out, okay, I have to figure something out, or I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to be, have a problem with food. I'm going to have a problem with keeping my car. Insurance is sky high. Everything is sky high. So you have to figure this out. How do you pivot to figure out a way?
Even I was just gonna say, because it makes me think about like so people, like when people hear me speak in that capacity, some people may think I have a disdain for the United States. I love America. I said that very specific. I love America. I'm an American. I'm an American Indian. But when you understand how the systems work,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you like I said, I don't have a disdain for it. It's best for you to learn how to, like utilize it to your
Right.
benefit, because
That's
especially with the contracts that some of us have, grant money,
yes.
benefits and things like this, you can change the trajectory of your life just by
That's
accepting
right.
documents.
That's
Even
right.
some people are in perfect positions for them to get government funding right now. Like people can get SBA loans from 20,000 up, and this could put their business where it needs to be in order so that they can weather this, like this economic downfall right now. Because
And
sometimes,
we have the resources, don't we? We have the resources to help them figure that out.
but
We
it's like
do.
sometimes the things are right there for you, and it's
Hmm.
just like because of some of our mindsets, we may be overlooking the options that have been right in our face the entire time.
And there are resources to help you figure out how to get access to that. Okay. Um, but I still always emphasize, fortunately, unfortunately, just the situation. You have to learn the rules to the game to learn how to play the game and with the rules for you to win. And if you don't even know the rules, you have no chance of winning. And then the other thing is, a lot of it is based on credit, whether it's personal credit or business credit. It's,
In
it's
this in the economic system we live in, it
right.
is credit based. Yes.
Yes. And so you have to understand how you rule. You can use it to rule and help you as opposed to it ruling you and ruining your life or situation. And you're a slave to it. So that is what we offer. I say we because he and I mean, we're on the same page with this, and we have helped each other. He's helped me greatly understand so many things. And I hope I've helped him with something, probably not.
You have.
No, he always wants to reach out to baby boomers and people my age, even though he's half our age. But he has learned so much that he wants to share. And he knows he's an expert at so many things. I call him a national treasure because he is. And he shares because a lot of people like him they know so much, but they're not going to share. And they're certainly not going to share on a visible platform like this. And they're not going to share where you can actually afford to get to us so you can get yourself in position. He doesn't have to do that. Quite honestly, I don't have to, but this is my whole career. But he really doesn't have to do this. So when he's partnering out here and sharing, and you can get to us, you can get to him through me, which is what he always says. Oh, just go to her. but um, but my point is, this information you're very rarely going to hear. This is what sets us apart in this particular podcast and beyond when you're dealing with DJ Bey, because he has proprietary information. It's out there, but who takes the time to point that out to you? Have you ever heard anybody do what he's done in this particular podcast? No. So the whole platform we have is to share and to figure out. There's always a strategy. That's what I want you to understand. It's not too late, and it's always a strategy. You have to start though. You have to start somewhere, and we have the means to help you figure out where to start, how to start, and that's what's really important. My book has a lot of good information in there as well. So you can go to my website and get that book. It's very affordable.
What's
I
your
made
website?
My website is businesswealthfinancing.com. But the short name to get there is www dot the letter B, the word wealthy, the letter B.com. So it's bewealthyb.com. It's an acronym: be wealthy, be wealthy, be wealthy, be wealthy, be wealthy. So you can go there and you can start today. At least it's very affordable. So you have to start somewhere. And I keep saying this because people in our age group think, well, what am I going to do? It's not too late. You can figure out, you can pivot with strategists like ourselves to help you figure this out.
Most definitely. And before we go, please let everybody know where they can find you on social media.
Well, I am on Facebook under Business Wealth Builders LLC. You'll find me under there. Business Wealth Financing LLC. I'm on Instagram under the same my name, Allison Bennett Brown. Brown has an E at the end. You can find me on LinkedIn for sure under my name, Allison Bennett Brown. And under Business Wealth Financing, right? And you can see my background and everything and find me there. But the best way to find me is just email me. Email me at info@bewealthybee.com. Info at the letter B, the word wealthy, the letter B.com.
Well, thank you, Miss Allison. It has been a pleasure having you on the Trust Fund Baby podcast, and I look forward to having you back. And I'm also looking forward to your next event. So make sure you all tune in and make sure you don't miss the event. Peace.
Thank you so much for inviting me and sharing this opportunity.
Yes, ma'am. Anytime.
All right.